Whoa, I can see myself. All right, I'm excited and fired up. Okay, so let's get this show on the road. So there's a ton of you on this call. This is like as big as a team call, and I'm so excited. First of all, you guys are in for a treat over the next couple of weeks. I don't know how long we're gonna go. You guys got so many speakers, so many top earners. It's ridiculous. I think we have, like, this group, give me a thumbs up. We got over 3,000 people in this group. Over 3,000. How ridiculous is that? Is that like all of Beachbody's active coaches? I don't know. But I am so fired up that we're going to make it happen. So today, what I really want to talk about is I want to give you a couple truth bombs. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are okay with truth bombs, because I don't want to mess around in this group. I want to really give it to you so you understand what really makes someone successful. And here's what I believe. I believe figuring out how to do things, it ain't so hard. It's all out there. Like, you all know, it's all on YouTube. It's all on Google. I mean, you can literally, like, I want to learn PicMonkey. Cool, go to Google. You'll find so many articles. Go to YouTube. You'll find videos. I mean, literally, there is so much information out there. So what's missing? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what's that secret missing ingredient that, those top people have that, maybe I haven't figured out what that is yet? If you ever stop to think about it, there's got to be something, and I believe there are some things. There are really some things. The first one, I got to tell you, that's pretty obvious, is your state of mind. Okay, the actual state that you have when you wake up in the morning, as you do things throughout the day, the state that you put your mindset in when you wake up and when you do things is so critical. So the first tip I have for you ready for this one? The first tip I have for you is simple. Your mindset. You got to get in state. See, so many people go throughout the day just like blah, blah, blah. I have to do this and the other thing. And the problem with that is that everyone else can feel that. When you do a post on Facebook and it's like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this post. Guess what? Don't bother, because you know what? No one's going to feel your post. They're going to be like, oh, it's a terrible post. And they're not going to engage, and it's a useless post. So what you have to do is you have to know your triggers that get you in the right mindset. See, our triggers are different for different people. Like for me, I love listening to music and working out. That's my trigger. If I'm ever feeling low, I don't allow myself to stay at that level very long. I work out, I listen to great music, and I do something about my state, because that changes my state, and then everything else that I do just goes better. See, so many people wake up in the morning and they're like, oh, well, I don't feel like it, and they don't do anything about their state. They just do their things. I gotta do this list, I gotta do that list, I gotta do this other thing. The problem with that is everything you're doing throughout the day is completely gone. It's useless. So you can have someone that did the exact same checklist. This is why, personally, sorry guys, I hate checklists, because here's the thing. One person can do all the checklists, and this other person can do half of the checklist. This person ends up becoming a top 10 coach, and the person that did the whole checklist every day for 2 years is still an Emerald coach. Why is that? Well, it must not work for me. No, sir or lady. What you did is you did the whole checklist, but you did it in a 5 out of 10 state, whereas the other person did 5 things out of the 10, but they did them in a 10 out of 10 state. And guess what? That person crushed it, and the other person did not. So why does that happen? See, let me give you another example. So I'll read the comments real quick. Let me give you another example, okay? See, so many people, I think, make decisions, and actually, let me tell you the number one reason why I think so many people actually fail at this business, okay? And I've talked about quitting before in other groups, but this is a little bit different. But this is the number one reason why I think so many people fail at this business. Give me some hearts or thumbs up if you want to hear this. Okay, I believe that for you to succeed, you got to figure this one thing out, and that's this. Too many people make decisions based on how they feel. Too many people make decisions in terms of what they will do in this business based on how they feel. Let me give you an example. Oh, well, I don't feel like, inviting today. So today, I'm going to work with my coaches. And then the next day, they're like, oh, well, today, I don't feel like doing the business at all. I think I'm going to take a family day, so I'm not going to work my business. And then the next day, and then the next day. So depending on, and then some days you get fired up. You're like, oh, I'm fired up. Go message my coach. Hey, coach, man, I'm all in today, buddy. Hey, can we get on a Zoom call in 5 seconds? And your coach is like, dude, like, seriously, come on now, come on, right? You are someone that, like, into the business when you feel like it. Too many people give it like 100% when they feel like it. Here's what you got to figure out. You got to figure out how to stop doing that, because let me give you an example. Let's say that you had a job. Most of you have jobs, right? Let's say you had a job and you had this important meeting, and 5 minutes before the meeting, you're like, well, I don't feel like going to the meeting today. I kind of don't feel, I'm just not going to go to the meeting. What would happen? You'd get your ass fired, okay? Or let's say you got to work tomorrow and you're like, oh, you know what? Wow, I just got bombed this weekend. I don't feel like going to work tomorrow, so I'm going to just sleep in. Send a little email to my boss. You know what? I'm not even going to email him. I'm just not going to show up to work because I don't feel like it. What would possibly do that? Could you possibly not show up to work and still have a job? Let me tell you, zero. Yeah, zero. You can't do that. So why do you act like that with this business? Ask yourself that. If you're guilty of that, why do you do this business depending on how you feel like it? Why? It's ridiculous. See, top coaches don't do that. And top coaches still feel the same way. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's days where I don't feel like doing something. But we establish tricks. And this is one of my tips. This is my second tip for you. Is a tip and a trick that I use is something as simple as, perfect example, this call. I told all of you that I was going to go live at 7 o'clock, right? So therefore, I have told you that I'm going to do that. Regardless of whether I feel like it or not, there are 3,000 people in this group. I'm not going to let you down and just not feel like it. Could you imagine? My phone would be blowing up. Lindsay would be like, are you dead? Like, what happened to you? Right? I can't do that. Another example, my team calls. Ever since I started, something I saw Lindsay was doing is team calls every Monday. So I figured, well, she's gotten incredible success. And guess what? She's doing team calls every single Monday. So I started doing team calls every single week. And one of the tricks that I found about that was, guess what? Some days, I'm sorry team, I don't feel like doing the team calls, right? But because I have scheduled it and I have said I'm gonna do the team call, guess what? A whole bunch of stuff happens around that. One, I gotta do personal development, because guess what? I don't have 52 topics to talk about a year. So sometimes I don't know what to talk about. So I gotta spend the whole day learning something that I can teach my team, and not just learning it, because it's one thing to read a book, right? But notice when you have to teach it, you really learn it well, don't you? Because, oh shoot, I can skim a book, but if you have to learn it to teach it, that's totally different. You're like, holy cow, like, I better take some notes here. I gotta highlight this, I'm gonna teach on that, I'm gonna take this point, I gotta do that. I should test that out and see if that actually works. You know, like, there's a big difference between doing and learning so that you have to teach it. So a big trick I would tell you, if you wanna flip that around in your head, because too many of you are guilty of this, okay? And this is a big key to making a big income. You gotta stop doing things when you feel like it, and you have to start forcing yourself to take action. You have to switch your decision-making process. Your decision-making process, give me a thumbs up if this makes sense, has to be based on what you've committed to. So your decision-making process has to be, what have I committed to do already, and I will just do that no matter what. So do what you have to do because you committed to it, instead of doing things based on how you feel like it. See, guess what? I'm not that great at calendars and all that stuff, but what I am good at is committing. If I commit to someone, I'm going to do something, I'm not going to back out on it. And most people won't, unless you're a big freaking jerk, okay? Most of you, I can't teach you how to be a nice person. So assuming none of you are jerks, what you do is you commit to things throughout the week, and therefore you must do them. And therefore your business will grow. Imagine if you did 52 team calls a year. You had to prepare to every single one of them. Your brain would become incredibly powerful. So here's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Your superpower, okay? Your superpower that you have within you. See, all of us have superpowers that I believe were gifted to us by God that we have to use or not to use. And they're all different for every single one of us. Some of us might have a similar one, but they're all very individual and very different based on our life. See, you might say, well, this person's gift is public speaking. Well, this other person's gift can also be public speaking, But this person can speak completely differently than the other one. Have you ever heard someone be a public speaker that talks very calm and articulated, but they're so great? And then you hear someone else that's all fired up and amped up, and they're so great too, and you're like, wow, they're both great. Because they're both great and different, but they're still using their superpower of communication. So what you got to do is figure that out. So I got 3 steps for you to figure out your superpower, and then I'm going to end up with a couple of rants, and then I think we're gonna have some fun on that one. I got a couple of rants for you to end it off the call. Okay, so 3 things that you got to do in order to figure out your superpower, and this will greatly help you increase your income. Okay, the first thing is, first of all, you got to realize that you do have a superpower, and what you have to really hone in on is what other people say your superpower is. And you're like, well, how do I know what other people say? No one's ever told me, hey, Brittany, hey, Jordan, your superpower is X. No, but if you listen closely, people give you tips all the time. People give you tips all the time, and things like this. This is what they'll say. They'll say, you know, whoa, you're so great at X. So when was the last time someone told you, whoa, you know, Ellen, you're so great at X, or hey, Amber, you're so great at what? It could be anything. It could be painting. It could be giving. It could be absolutely anything under the sun. What do people tell you that you're so great at? What is your superpower? So for me, I'll give you an example. My superpower, like I'm good at lots of things, but my superpower is actually technology. It's computers. I've learned other things that have amplified my superpower, but my superpower growing up, I was just always naturally good at computers. My dad got a computer, he was taking a computer programming class in the 80s, and I figured out how to use it. It was like a teletype thing. In school, I was the one that built the first website for our school. I was just always naturally good at computers, and the funny thing is, we could never afford our own home computer. We never did until I was in grade 12, okay, in high school. So I learned how to program going to the library because I loved it so much. My superpower was computers and still is to this day. And so that's how you figure it out. What do people tell you? People would tell me, man, you're so good at that. You're a natural at that. You are so good at computers. You are so good. Guess what? Sooner or later, your brain over the last 10, 15 years has honed that. And so it is good at that. So I don't know what it is for you, but your brain will become better because people tell you that that is your superpower, so you start becoming naturally better at it, and so you need to just unlock it. So that's how you figure out, first of all, what your superpower could be. Now, the second thing to figure out what your superpower is what do you enjoy doing? And a lot of times, these will be the same thing. Someone might tell you, whoa, you're so great at giving. That's a great superpower, to be good at giving. Especially in this business. You might be like, how does that make any sense? It is. Imagine, you're so good at giving. Maybe you love to give. And so now when, you know, contests come up or every month you want to give a gift to your people, maybe you're the one that spends a little more time and hand writes a card and puts it in a box and wraps it in a bow and, I don't know, sprays perfume in the box and makes it smell like something really nice. You know, giving is an incredible superpower. So what is it that you enjoy as well? So someone says, oh, you are so good at public speaking, but maybe you don't like it. Well, then that's not your superpower. That's not your superpower. But maybe if someone says, well, you're so good at public speaking, but maybe you do love it, then maybe that is your superpower. And maybe, let me be clear, maybe you're not so great at it yet, but you just figured it out on this call, maybe some of you. Maybe some of you right now are like, whoa, like people have been telling me my whole life that I'm so good at this thing, and I've really enjoyed it, but I've never gone to the next step. And what's the next step? The next step is become a master at this skill. You must become a master at this skill, because if you can master this one skill, whatever your superpower may be, then everything else will just work itself out. You'll figure everything else out. But you must take advantage of your superpower. Some of us have other powers as well, but like, what's Superman's power? Like if I asked any of you, most of you would say, you know, he's super strong. That's a superpower. But he can also fly, right? That's another superpower. He can also like use like lasers through his eyeballs. So his main superpower though is strength. So a lot of us have other powers around us that make us incredibly unique. But if you can figure out what these things are for you, then you will become even more and more incredibly powerful in your life. I really believe that. Okay, time for some rants. First of all, thumbs up if that was useful. I want you guys to figure out your superpower. We're going to do that at the end. I'm going to come back to the assignment. But before I do that, a couple of little things. I thought I'd give you a little bit about me with a little bit of rants as well in it, because I know some of you might not know who I am. This is my opportunity to share that with you. So let me tell you really quickly my story real fast, okay? And by the way, this has to do with my rant as well, because my rant is this. Most of us don't share our story enough, okay? This is another big tip for you. We're not in the selling business, okay? We're not in the selling business. We're not in the convincing business. We're not in the like, oh, how do we trick people into giving us their phone number business? We're not in any of those businesses, okay? We're in the business of sharing our story. Okay? We're the only company in the freaking world that gets to share the most incredible gift ever given, and that's health and fitness. If you asked anybody, once they get sick, what matters? Nothing else. You want to get healthier? Immediately healthy right now. I must get healthy. So we have that tool. We have the tool to allow people never to get sick in the first place. That is an incredible gift that we have. We're in the greatest company in the world, that is such a little baby, just in Canada, US, and Puerto Rico. My mind is blown. Officially now, everyone knows that we are going international later this year. Do you realize the incredible opportunity that you are sitting on? You are literally sitting on a rocket ship that has yet to take off. And so many people are messing it up royally right now because they're like, okay, well, I'll take action later. Coach Summit, I'll take action. When we go international, I'll take action. You're messing it all up. Hey, listen, you want to have massive, explosive, life-changing, transformational, bottom-breaking, incredible year ever when this thing launches internationally, break your plateaus? What you have to do right now is work hard now so that you get this incredible momentum built up so that you can explode your life. And Beachbody has an opportunity to give to you. So how do we do that? We do that by telling our story. We must tell our story effectively. And throughout telling our story, people will come into our circle, and using our superpower and tying everything together and doing things every day, not just because we feel like it, but because we've scheduled it and we've committed to it, we will get the results. So this is how I tell my story. Really quickly, I'll tell you my story, okay? So back 5 years ago, I was in the worst shape of my life, 240 pounds. Literally, I felt horrible, but I didn't make a change yet. I didn't feel like I had to. One day I was driving home from daycare with my kids and the left side of my hand started feeling numb. I had no idea what was going on. I felt terrible. I went home, I tried to have a shower, I lied down, my wife freaked out. She's like, why are you lying down? You're like hyperactive all the time, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, hey, listen, I don't feel good. She's like, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, I can't feel the left side of my body. She's like, what the F? Like, get to the hospital right now. I got in the car and went to the hospital and listened to my wife. Of course, it's a good move. So I went to the hospital and I'm sitting there in the hospital bed. My blood pressure is 190 over 140. They can't figure out what's going on. My cell phone is totally dead. All that I'm thinking is like, who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to work now? Like, what's going to happen? You know, my wife, you know, like, I don't even know, like, who's going to pay the mortgage? I was freaking out, couldn't even text anyone. I thought it was done. I thought it was a done deal, okay? And luckily, my blood pressure went down to 160 over, like, 130. Not good. I was still freaking out. I went to the doctors for, like, many weeks. And I didn't know what was going on. And so I decided just to get healthier. I didn't know what was going on, but I figured if I just lost a little weight, right? If I just lost a little bit of weight, then I would start feeling better. And whatever it was, I'd be able to take it on stronger and I'd be willing to fight it, whatever it was. Well, guess what happened? I started working out and nothing went well. I went to the gym. People that were at the gym looked like they were so jacked, they must have been drinking something that was illegal. I don't know, but I did not feel comfortable going to the gym at 240 pounds, okay? I tried running. My knees would swell up like massive freaking watermelons after running 2 houses. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I went home one day, I felt so defeated. I sat down on the couch, it was like 11:30. I look at an infomercial, and of course, P90X comes on, and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty good. I ended up ordering the program, even though I was like, this gotta be a scam. These people are all paid actors. Funny enough, I'm in an infomercial now. Haha, joke's on me. And then while I'm ordering, Turbofire commercial comes on, and we ended up ordering both programs. And we ordered both programs. I ordered the chin-up bar. I ordered boxes of the P90X bars. They like upsold me on everything. I spent nearly $1,000 Canadian. I bought 2 programs for like $1,000. And I was like, if I buy everything, then I will be successful. Well, 2 weeks passed and everything sat there. I think I opened the box of cookies or whatever, the P90X peanut butter bars. They were so good. No results yet. And so I'm like, this isn't working. My wife's like, well, you have to open the frickin' box, dude. So I decided, okay, it's game time. Like I set everything up. I remember going to the store and bought all the right foods, right? So I ordered it. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I start my workout. 3 days into the workout, I'm doing one of the chin-ups. I fall on my butt. I heard it so bad, and I was like, oh, this is just terrible. I can't, like 90-minute workouts. Who does a 90-minute workout in their underwear? Ridiculous. I'm not doing it. I ran upstairs, pop over, open a Heineken, sit on the couch. My wife's sitting there with me, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I give up. This stuff, these people on TV, they are fake. Paid actors. Eating my words again. Paid actors. They're not legit. Not legit. And she's like, why don't you try Turbofire? I'm like, and I'm sorry, ladies. I go, Turbofire? That's a girl's workout, dude. I'm not doing that. Well, the next day, I open up Turbofire, and I look up the easiest program. I'm like, which one's the shortest? It was like hit 15. Hit 15 workout. It's got to be easy. 15 minutes? No problem. 90-minute P90X workout, whatever. Hit 15, baby, we're gonna do this thing. So of course, I get like my workout gear on, right? Get my shirt on. I'm like, make sure I look good, because if you look good, you'll obviously lose weight, right? So I'm ready, I push play, and all of a sudden this psycho lady comes on the screen, jumping left, right, and center, and everyone else is following, and I'm the guy thinking like, how are all these ladies doing this? I can't move. And I thought I was gonna die. And I'm like, what kind of freaking workout is this? Who does this? And I was literally reaching for my remote, true story, to stop the DVD. And I'm going to reach it, and it was like at the end, and I was kind of dogging it a bit, but I was like dying, okay? I'm like dying, okay? I'm about to hit pause, and all of a sudden she goes, it's you, it's all you, and you can do this. And I don't know why that happened, and I believe to this day it must have been God intervening that happened, because truthfully, if that had not happened, I had the remote. I remember this moment. Every time I want to quit, I remember this moment, because I remember back to if I had quit in that moment, what wouldn't have happened? And you're all thinking like success and income. No, I'm thinking like the lives that I've changed, the people that I've impacted. Like it's insane, and I was about to hit it. And because she believed in me, I stuck with it. I ended up losing over 50 pounds doing the Turbofire workout. I lost 80 pounds over the course of a year. I decided to become a Beachbody coach, pay it forward. It was absolutely incredible. A year into the business, I was thinking about leaving my full-time job. 14 months in, I left my full-time job. A year later, my wife left her full-time job. A year after that, we became the first $1 million earners in Team Beachbody. A year after that, we earned $1 million in just that 1 year. My life freaking changed because of Team Beachbody. You tell me this doesn't work? Go F yourself, buddy, because you know what? This works. The problem is there's too many people in this world that don't actually care about other people. All they care about is themselves. What's in it for me? Where's the money for me? Where's the recognition for me? They make excuses. Well, my family's got to eat. Bullshit. If you wanted to help people, you'd be out there every single day helping people. You'd be helping them with their workouts. See, the thing is, I have that fire within me because I was dying and Beachbody saved me. And all of us have those moments. The problem is we think about this elite stuff and we forget that. We forget that we were put here for a purpose, and God will empower you if you let Him. God can't save you if you're doing nothing. God can't save you if I don't feel like it today. God can't do anything for you unless you put a step forward and say, fine, the past is gone, it's done, it's dead. Forward is where we're going. Forward is where we are going. There's like 3,000 of you, and by the way, because I talked about income, Team Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of success or income from a Team Beachbody coaching opportunity. Neither does Miguel. In fact, Team Beachbody's income only depends on your own skill, diligence, and effort. And here's the thing, so many of you just don't put in the effort. So many of you don't have 2 kids, a pregnant wife that at the moment didn't think that it was gonna work, but I did it anyway. I had so many freaking excuses to not do this thing. I had a 6-figure income. Everyone at my job, all my friends, you think they wanted to do Beachbody? No, they were laughing at me, telling me that I was doing a pyramid scheme and how embarrassing for me to work in a corporate job, working my way up the ladder to know Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates, and all of a sudden you go and join a pyramid scheme? Are you insane? No, because I had a vision. I knew it wasn't their dream, it was my dream. So stop caring what other people think. Stop worrying about other people's success. Stop worrying about what they're doing. Why don't you focus on what you are doing? You want success in this business? Talk to more people. Share your story. Go back and realize why you became a Beachbody coach in the first place, and why if someone cut my arm, I'd be bleeding Beachbody blue. Because Beachbody saved my life, and it is within you to save other people's lives. If you get this fire that I have within me right now, you will become a top earner. But if you don't have that fire, the world will destroy you. You will go from thing to thing to thing to thing your whole life, and you will never ever become successful because you are preying on something and not taking the action that is required for you to be successful, for you to make your dreams come true. No one is gonna save you. This group can't save you. We can teach you. We can inspire you. We can share our stories. But if you aren't sharing your stories, if you aren't running groups, if you don't end this call and take massive freaking action till 4 a.m. till your eyes are freaking bleeding like I did, then do not come to me and tell me I'm lucky. Do not come to me and say, well, you signed up first. Do not come to me and say, well, if I was you. No, because you have more than me. You can do it easier than me. The only problem is I outworked you, and why don't you go now and outwork me? That's all I got for you guys. I hope you're ready. This group is gonna be ridiculous. Live with passion and dream the extreme. Bye guys, have a great Sunday.